So often, we look outside of us for validation. We try to get inspired by cool, interesting people who are living their lives in cool, interesting ways. And so we spend a lot of time on social media, looking up to those people in order to feel that spark, that sense of aliveness. But what if we could take that back? What if we could take what we saw and integrate it in a way that's authentic to who we are? What if you could become the coolest person you know? If we make our own lives more interesting, the time looking elsewhere would dwindle. Not to say that seeking inspiration is a bad thing, but when we try to be like others, we lose sight of our own unique gifts and our divine purpose. Here are just a few things I've noticed about the most interesting, cool people I've met in life and what they all seem to have in common. One thing I've noticed about the most interesting, cool people is that they think about more than just themselves. They're service-oriented. They do little things, like they'll ask you if you got home okay. And in conversation, they don't turn your story into a story all about them. They just listen. As corny as it sounds, the coolest people are often the nicest people. Those who do things for others just because. Those who are generous with their time, their energy, and their attention.
Cool people are there to listen. They're service-oriented. They're there to help. They want to open the door for you. They want to let you know that there's traffic coming up ahead on the highway. This happened all the time in Corsica. Alex and I would be driving on the highway, and then we would get cars in front of us coming, and they would flash their lights and just let us know that, hey, there's some cows up ahead that are crossing the road. Or, hey, there's a police car up ahead, or there's going to be traffic or snow up ahead. That was a thing in Corsica that happened all the time, and it's something I really miss, and it really makes someone cool.
One thing I've noticed about really cool people is that they're often non-reactive. They don't get super emotional about things, or they don't get resentful or frustrated by small, stupid things. Instead of instinctively reacting or judging others, they observe. They observe instead of react. Cool people are also very curious. They ask questions and are curious about other people's lives. Cool people are also communicative. They tell you what's on their mind and they don't hold things in, secretly simmering and resenting the small little things that you did that bothered them. Cool people are upfront because they know their worth and they're confident in being able to express what they need in another person. Cool people are able to read a room, to sense the red flags, and they're strong enough in their self-worth to walk away. But we have got to start being smart about the people that we allow into our lives. We've got to be discerning about the energies we allow into our personal space. Cool people are interesting people, and interesting people have interests.
Have interests, have hobbies, have passion projects that are your own and allow you to have your own independent identity. So important. Every cool or interesting person I've ever met always has some random hobby or some random side thing that they do and they love, and it just fuels their fire. And this is something that's really attractive to see in other people because it inspires you to want to learn about your interests and your hobbies as well. I've noticed that the coolest people in life are the people who know who they are, and they just say, this is who I am, world. Take me or leave me. This is who I am. And they're unapologetic about it. They don't give excuses or reasons as to why they do the things they do. They don't justify or explain why they make the choices they do. They just say, yeah, this is me. This is who I am. That's my life. Move on. They're just like, this is who I am, and I'm not here to please you. So simple. It's so simple, but I've noticed this time and time again with really cool people. This might seem a little harsh for all the people pleasers out there. Hi, I'm a former people pleaser, so I can totally relate to this. And it took me a lot of work to get to this point. Cutting people off. Cutting people off who do not make you feel good, who make you feel icky when you're around them. Earlier this spring, I entered my villain era. And a villain era is a social media trend that basically is for people pleasers to really own their worth, take back their power, and have strong boundaries. And ever since entering my villain era, I have attracted nothing but abundance. Like the universe has mirrored back to me that which I feel about myself. When I started saying no, when I started cutting people out who do not make me feel good when I'm around them, when I started saying no to brands that I love and sponsors that I want to take, but I'm not going to because they will not pay me what I think I should be paid. When I started really owning my sense of self-worth and saying, this is a non-negotiable, this is who I am, take it or leave it, I don't care, I'm still here. That's when everything kind of clicked for me. It's like all the puzzle pieces were just floating and then they just all collapsed, put together perfectly. I look back at my life and I think back to the people that I thought were really cool or aspirational in some way. They were all people who knew their worth and they believed they were deserving, worthy, and capable of having all that they wanted in their life. So have boundaries. The people that we respect the most are the people that are able to say no. They don't walk on eggshells, and they honor their truth and their inner voice before they take the advice from others. And they don't feel guilt or shame around saying no. No is just a complete sentence. Cool people are also active. Doesn't mean they have to be physically active, but it's more like they're doing things, they're makers, they're creators, or they're researchers, or they're doing things. They're not just sitting on the couch streaming Netflix all the time. And not to say that watching films is a bad thing, because I'm a huge movie buff and I love watching media and watching movies, but I find that interesting people really are doers in some way. I am not making this video to say that I am a cool person, because a lot of these things on this list I'm not good at and I'm trying to get better at. But these are just things that I'm inspired by in others, and when I see cool people, this is what I kind of take note on and what I observe, and I just kind of want to share these observations with you in hopes that it will inspire you to become the coolest person you know.